अच्छा जी, yesterday we were talking about what is meant by the market. So market is a place or any interaction between the buyer and seller in order to exchange the goods and services. So we talked about there are two market forces. One is called demand and another is called supply. In our previous lesson, we talked about what is meant by demand actually and what is law of demand. Today I am going to explain what are the different types of demand, and then we will see how the demand, individual demand and market demand curves are derived or they have to be drawn. So first thing I want to explain quickly what is meant by the types of demand. What are the types of demand? One is called notional demand, as I was talking about it yesterday. What is notional demand? When consumer has the desire to buy but unable to buy. He or she is not having enough income to buy. He cannot support himself to buy the product financially. There is financial weakness of the buyer in order to have this product at good price.
Also said that the person is able but isn't willing to buy. So willing is notional amount.
Willing to buy is a notional demand, and if he has the ability but no demand, then we cannot say it is a demand. Okay. So this is a notional demand when we say there is desire but no ability to buy. There is desire but no ability to buy. Another demand which is called effective demand. What is effective demand? Which has both desire and ability to buy are present. Desire and ability to buy are present. Alright, तो हम क्या कह रहे हैं? This is called effective demand. So both should be present. We are talking about this type of demand. This is only a want, and this is what? Effective demand. Many times we find an MCQ related to what is meant by effective demand. So we say this is a demand which is having both the things, desire and ability to buy. Now another type of demand is individual demand. What is individual demand? It is a demand of one consumer in the market about a certain product. Like when price goes down, he will be buying more, and when price goes up, he buys less. So one consumer demand is called what? Individual demand. And what is a market demand? Market demand of cell phones. How can we define this market demand? This is a sum of the demand of all the consumers at each price. Clear? Market demand is what? It is the sum of the demands of all the consumers at each price. That is called the market demand. And we are studying the market demand, not the individual demand in this case, because our market force is not the individual demand, rather it is the market demand. Clear? So when we sum up the individual demands, we get what? The market demand. It is horizontal sum of the individual demands. Now what is meant by competitive demand? Competitive demand means what? This is the demand of substitutes. What is? It is the demand of substitutes, like if price of Coke is increasing, demand of Pepsi will increase. So competitive demand is when the goods are having competition. So price of one product that will affect the demand of other goods. Clear? The similar goods which are fulfilling the same type of human need and want. Now the other type of demand is example, oil, fuel and car. Fuel and car are jointly consumed, or we can say printer and its pages. They are also jointly consumed, or milk and sugar. They are both jointly consumed. So this is called joint demand. Now what is meant by composite demand? Composite demand is that if a product has multiple uses, so its demand will be called composite demand. For example, milk can be used to make desserts, yogurt and different types of milkshakes, tea and coffee. Milk is used in many ways. So demand of milk is having multiple uses. That's why we say it is called a composite demand. If in one use demand of milk has increased, for all other purposes its supply will decrease. Anything you don't understand? So composite demand is that if a product has multiple uses, we say it is called the composite demand. Now what is meant by direct demand? Direct demand. This is the demand of product itself at different price level. For example, demand of footballs, that is direct demand. And what is indirect demand? Indirect demand or derived demand. Indirect or derived demand. It is the demand of factors of production or labor demand, you can see. If demand of final product increases, demand of labor will also increase. If more students are getting admission in A levels and O levels, so the demand of teachers will also rise. So this demand, indirect demand, is dependent upon the direct demand. When direct product demand is increasing, demand of its factors of production to produce, that will also increase. Clear? Now the next case of demand, type of demand, is aggregate demand. Aggregate demand. Keep it in mind, in the 9 above cases of demand, that is a single product demand. For example, we talk about demand of cell phones. This is the market of cell phones. So we talked about the direct demand of cell phones, the indirect demand of the factors of production of the cell phones, or composite demand of the cell phones, and a joint demand and competitive demand. This is a one market product demand. Aggregate means total. How many goods are produced in our country? Maybe more than 400 goods are produced in our country in 1 year. So demand of all the goods and services which are produced by a country in a given year, that is called aggregate demand. This is macroeconomic concept. This is in macro, and all others they were having microeconomic demand. This is macro. When we talk about aggregate demand, it is demand of all the goods and services which are produced by a country in a given year. That is called aggregate demand. And the last one we can see, the global demand. Do you have any idea about the global demand? Global demand means when a product is demanded by many people living in different countries. For example, iPhone is having a global demand. Although it is produced by one country, or in different countries the manufacturing units have been placed in. So the demand of many iPhones, we can see this is a global demand. Around the globe this is demanded by majority of the buyers or consumers. So all these are the types of demand which may come to your MCQ exam. What is the definition of effective demand? What is the definition of derived demand or aggregate demand, market demand, individual demand? So I have mentioned them quickly. So what are the different types? Now come towards our demand analysis. How can we draw the demand curve? Now we said, what is price and quantity demanded are inversely related with each other. What is law of demand? Law of demand. Here, the price and the quantity demanded are inversely related with each other. Inversely related with each other. Alright? At ceteris paribus, when other factors are kept constant in a given time period. Now see, when price falls, quantity demand will increase, and when price increases, quantity demand will decrease. Clear? Now here I am taking the values, price and quantity. When price is 10, 1 unit is demanded. You can see this is a $10 price. When price is $9, 2 units are demanded. When price is $8, 3 units are demanded. This is an individual demand schedule. Single person demand. When price is falling, he is going to increase the quantity demand. So if I draw it over here I am taking price in terms of dollars. So at $10, how many units are demanded? First unit. At price $9, how many units are demanded? 2. At price $8, 3 units are demanded. Clear? We have different dots on this axis. On x-axis I am taking quantity demanded, and on y-axis the price is taken. So if I join these points, please be attentive. If I join these points, this is what? The demand curve. And how can we define the demand curve? Be attentive. It is demand curve. It is graphical representation. What it is? Graphical representation between the price and the quantity demanded at ceteris paribus. Clear? This is the individual demand. How can we get the market demand? How can we get the market demand? Multiply here by the number of buyers. So you can see if there are 50 buyers and then 60 buyers and then 70 buyers. At each price, please be attentive, at each price what is happening? This is the market demand at price $10. This is the market demand at price $2. This is the market demand at price $3. If we plot these values, so we get a demand curve which is the market demand, and it is lying on the right of individual demand, because we have added up many individual demands to get this market demand. Clear? So when we sum up graphically the individual demands at each price, we get what? The market demand, which is also downward sloping. So basically we are studying the market force of demand rather than the individual one. This is not our study to have individual study of the demand, but we are studying the market demand of single product. Clear? So this is, we see that the market demand curve is downward sloping. So it is graphical representation of price and quantity demanded. So it slopes downward. Demand curve slopes downward. What do you mean by downward sloping?
Negative slope.
Negatively slope. When price falls, so quantity demand will increase, and when price increases, the quantity demand will fall. Clear? This is the inverse relationship between price and quantity demand. Now, I want to tell you about the movement of the demand curve. Movement along the demand curve. Movement along the demand curve. Keep it in mind, this is the quantity demanded, this is price in terms of dollar, this is a point zero, this is the demand curve. Look here, it is a linear demand curve. Linear means straight line demand. Clear? So we see over here, when price is $9, there are 120 units which are demanded by the consumers. And when price goes to $8, how many units are demanded? 210. So what is happening? Quantity demand will move along the demand curve. This is called expansion of demand. Expansion or extension of demand along the demand curve. So when price decreases, there is movement along the demand curve, like there is going to be expansion of the demand curve when price decreases. This shows that price and quantity are inversely related, and this is called expansion of the demand curve. Now what do we say about contraction of demand? Contraction of demand. How can we find contraction of demand? Here you can see, here we take the price and quantity demanded, and here we take price in terms of dollars. So this is the demand curve. When price goes up from $8 to 110 and price goes to $10, so we have 50 units to be demanded. So here we see demand is contracting along the curve. This is called contraction. Keep it in mind, there can be one of the MCQ. What is that? Which factor will not cause a shift of the demand curve? So we can easily find this demand curve is showing us a relationship between price and quantity. So this is the graphical representation of price and quantity. So if price of the product changes, demand will move along the curve. There will be no shift. No shift of the demand curve when the price of the product is going to change. When will the demand shift? When there is a change in non-price factors. This is the price of the product itself. When its non-price is changing, there is going to be movement along the demand curve. And when any factor other than price is going to change, that is called the shift of the demand curve. And what are the other factors we kept constant yesterday? Income of the consumers, prices of other goods, yes, and taxes and subsidies. You can see weather, fashion, trend, population size. Some of the economic factors and some are the non-economic factors. So I am going towards the shift of the demand curve right now because we have enough time right now. So how can demand shift up and down? Shift of the demand curve. Shift of the demand curve. The demand curve will either shift right or left, the shift factors. And what are those non-price factors? I am listing them. First is called income of the consumer, and then we see prices of other goods. And then we see the tax. Can I write interest rate? Yesterday I did not write it. Interest rate is also affecting the demand of the goods because loans can be made easily available if interest rate is lower. And the fifth point is fashion, trend, and you can see the habit of the consumers, or you can see the weather conditions. And the seventh one can be the size of population increases over the period of time. So when any of these factors or any other factor other than this, if it is going to change, there will be the shift of the demand curve. So for example, first of all, we take the income. If income of the consumer increases over the period of time, now income is increased. People are able to earn more income than before. What happens? There are two types of goods with respect to income. One is called normal good. What is a normal good? When income increases, its demand will also increase. So we see when income increases, its demand also increases. So this is called what? A normal good. Look here. This is the quantity, this is the demand curve. So when income increases at all prices, now consumers are demanding more. This is called at the same price, now more units are demanded by the consumers. At all price, consumers have increased the demand of normal goods. For example, previously people were buying more chicken to consume. Now due to increase in income, they are buying more mutton or beef. So mutton and beef, their demand has increased due to increase in income of the people. So that is called a normal good. And what about chicken? That has become inferior good. Inferior good is that. What is an inferior good?
The price of income will decrease the demand.
Yes. When income increases, its demand will have downward shift. And I can see mutton has become a normal good and chicken that has become inferior to the consumers. Like previously people were buying more chicken, now due to increase in income, they left consuming it, they are demanding less of it. So demand of inferior good will shift downward, whereas the demand of normal good will shift rightward due to the change in income. Please be attentive. We haven't changed the price. Price hasn't changed. Due to these factors, non-price factors, demand is going to change. Follow my point? Now, what about I am going to do this thing first of all. If tax increases on income, what happens? Tax increases on income, so disposable income. What is disposable income? After tax income will decrease. So demand of normal goods will shift downward due to increasing more income tax. When tax on income increases, disposable income of the consumers will decrease. Therefore, demand of normal goods will shift down, and inferior goods demand will increase because people are having less income. They will buy more of the inferior goods. Okay, now come here. What happens due to interest rate? When loans are easily available at less rate of interest, people will demand more of the goods, consumer items. Clear? So when interest rate falls on loans, in other words, people's income will increase at present time. they will demand more goods which previously they were unable to buy. Clear? What about fashion trends and weather conditions? When they are favorable, when fashion is favorable, trend is favorable, or weather is favorable, demand will shift rightward, and when they are unfavorable, demand will shift downward. Old fashioned cars demand has decreased. We don't have old fashioned cars right now because the demand is no more present. And what about population size? Over the period of time, we see population of the countries that increases, so demand of many goods will increase. Clear? So I left one factor over here, prices of other goods. I will explain this factor tomorrow because it involves two products in substitutes and complement. I will do this thing tomorrow and